Now, today, inshallah, we will continue where we have stopped in Surah Al-Kafirun. SubhanAllah, my classes, this class or other classes, all these topics are related like without my intention. I just plan each class differently, but just topics get aligned together. Yesterday we were talking about kufr, and in the online class about the seerah, about Abu Talib. But then today is tafsir of Surah Al-Kafirun, so it's like match the topic, subhanAllah. Is that was an accident, like this coincidence? No. Sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide you to focus on one topic. Maybe it's a reminder to ourselves as we grow. Okay. Surah Al-Kafirun, as we said, we start first with, always with, fiqh al-surah. Fiqh al-surah, ya Sheikh. Before we go to tafsir, what you read here is tafsir al-surah. Of course, Sheikh as well here, Sheikh Abdul Rahman al-Sa'di, he will elaborate and give the fiqh and the insight of the surah. But we as well do our research and write down some notes before we go to the ready notes from the Sheikh of this book, Sheikh Abdul Rahman al-Sa'di rahimahullah. So, read the first point, the first of Surah Al-Kafirun. And then we will come later after that why this surah was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
This surah was associated with Surah Al-Ikhlas in some prayers of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, such as the 2 rak'ahs of tawaf and the 2 rak'ahs of fajr. So some call the both surahs as surahs of sincerity, Al-Ikhlas.
So the Surah Al-Kafirun and Surah Al-Ikhlas, they both have actually, in some scholars, they call them Suratay Al-Ikhlas, means the 2 surah of sincerity. Surah Al-Ikhlas, Qul Huwallahu Ahad, and Surah Al-Kafirun as well. First, Rasulullah ﷺ combined them in the salah in many of his sunnah. One of them is after you finish your tawaf, if you go to Umrah or you just even do normal tawaf and you want to pray 2 rak'ah, Rasulullah ﷺ would recite Surah Al-Ikhlas and Surah Al-Kafirun together. This is the sunnah. And the other sunnah is Sunnah Al-Fajr. When you pray Fajr, the sunnah is to recite Surah Al-Ikhlas and Surah Al-Kafirun. The 2 rak'ah before Salat Al-Subh, so we call them Surah Salat Al-Fajr. So the sunnah of Rasulullah ﷺ that he would always recite Surah Al-Kafirun and Surah Al-Ikhlas. Now what's the common between Surah Al-Kafirun and Surah Al-Ikhlas? Because you have already studied Surah Al-Ikhlas. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. What they have in common? They both talks about the oneness of Allah. They both talk about the oneness of Allah. You can sit here, Sheikh. Come, ya Ammar. Ammar, right? طيب. So Surah Al-Ikhlas, it talks about the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Surah Al-Kafirun as well. We will know how it talks about the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but in other words. So that's why they call both Suratay Al-Ikhlas. Suratay means the 2 surah of Al-Ikhlas, sincerity. Suratay. This is how it's written in Arabic. Suratay means 2 surah. Okay, number 2, read ya Amin.
In the surah, a complete disassociation with disbelief and shirk. As the Prophet ﷺ said when the surah was revealed, this is a disassociation with shirk.
Okay, now I want you to all write this word very well and remember it, because you will hear it a lot during your study of Aqidah. It's something called Bara'ah. Bara'atun. Please write it down. Bara'atun. Here, I will place the word so you understand the meaning. In the surah, a complete bara'ah, disassociation in all aspects with disbelief. The surah started with calling the disbelievers with their name. The disbelievers, or disbelievers. He didn't call them all people. Sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He will call people in general because He wants to talk to the disbelievers and the believers. But here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala address them very direct. Al-kafirun, kafir, a disbeliever. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made this surah bara'atun min ash-shirk. He made a very clear line between belief and disbelief. No room for negotiation here with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah disassociates us from shirk, which is, we call it in Arabic, bara'ah. And this one is one of your aqidah belief. We will come to this later. We will elaborate on this later. To have bara'ah, this association from shirk, it's one of the pillars of the aqidah of the Muslim. Yes?
No, I was going to ask what does bara'ah mean? Like,
yes. Bara'ah, this association, but you have to search more on the word because it indicates not just this association, but this association in a very deep meaning means tackling all the aspects of what you want to distinguish yourself from. When I say I have bara'ah from shirk, means I don't even get close to shirk. I don't even tolerate a word from shirk. I don't even smile to shirk. Okay? Associating anything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We will come to this inshallah slowly, okay, with the lesson. But Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when the surah was revealed, he said himself, this is a bara'ah, this association with shirk. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam himself said this, talking about Surah Al-Kafirun. After Surah Al-Kafirun was revealed, he said, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to the Sahaba, explaining about Surah Al-Kafirun, this is bara'ah from shirk. This is a bara'ah from shirk. Allah disassociate everything from disbelief and belief and make a clear line between them. They cannot be mixed. There is no chemistry between disbelief and belief. There are two different things. Like myself and Ilyas. Ilyas is Ilyas, Sheikh Seraj is Sheikh Seraj. He cannot take my character, I cannot take his character. Okay? If anyone takes someone else's name, then he will be caught by the law, right? Same is about the shirk. If you borrow anything from the opposite belief, you will be caught in the day of judgment as a person who associates himself or herself with shirk. So the Surah Al-Kafirun now, it will explain to us this clear line that Allah will draw to us to make sure that we do not put our feet on the other side. We always stay away from the shirk. Okay, continue, number 3.
This surah is used as evidence to justify other false religions. You have your religion and I have my religion.
This is the ayah, the last ayah, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, لَكُمْ دِينُكُمْ وَلِيَ دِينِ. For you is your religion and for me is my religion. On the mouth of the Prophet, Allah commanded the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to say to who? To the disbelievers. لَكُمْ دِينُكُمْ, for you is your religion and for me is my religion. But this word continue.
And make belief and disbelief in the same level, even though it has a clear disassociation from shirk.
Now what happened nowadays, today, in today's world, when you on TV, you will see a news from Dubai. They are opening a place, temple of worship that gather, is called the religion of Al-Ibrahimiyya, that gather Muslims, Jews, Christian, Hindus, all together praying. You will pray to rak'ah. Next to you, the Jewish is moving like this with his book. The Christian is holding the cross. The Hindu is lighting, I don't know, candle. What's the rituals, Allahu A'lam? This is proved and give evidence from the Quran. You think they are not smart? They think we'll just justify to you just by tolerance? No. They have even scholars who in the rank of dunya, they are even higher than me in knowledge. You go to university, he's a professor, he graduated from the best Islamic university in the world. They would give you this ayah as a evidence. They say to you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, لَكُمْ دِينُكُمْ وَلِيَ دِينِ. You cannot bring everyone to Islam. You cannot force everyone to become Muslim. Why you cannot have even a little bit of tolerance and respect to other religion? Okay, now I'm talking in their tongue, okay? I will start to convince you. This is what they say. You are not tolerant at all. You don't respect other religion. You have, they call it now, the spiritual arrogance. What the Muslims do now, as in what I was saying earlier just now, what I'm explaining to you today, it's classified as spiritual arrogance to this group of people, that you are talking about other religion. But actually you are not talking about other religion. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in this ayah, what it was revealed to him, just a distinguish between belief and disbelief. And we will come to this slowly. I just want you to pin the picture. What's happening today is exactly what was happening with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam when he received this message. You will see what the offer, what leads to this revelation of this ayat. Are you with me? Are we clear? Now the picture that we are painting here is that from the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to our time today to now, you open YouTube, you would find full of videos that convincing people to accept each other, to live in harmony, to respect and tolerant religion rituals. You can see even in media here in Malaysia, if someone speaks during any festival, say Muslims should not attend that festival, they will attack them back. They maybe call them for investigation. Why? Because the direction is not to allow any word of belief to utter from your mouth. You cannot stand for your belief and distinguish yourself. No, you have to emerge. And this is the sign of respect. This is the only sign of respect. But we will see, how does Islam actually respect other religion from the perspective of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the action of the companions of Allah. Okay. Continue, Sheikh.
When the disbelievers said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, worship our God a year and we will worship your God a year, then Allah revealed, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ.
The offer was given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam by a group of disbelievers who visited him, 3 of them. They said to him, "O Muhammad, we want to come to an agreement with you. We worship your God for 1 year. And you worship our God for 1 year. And we take turns. What's the problem? Let's have fun. We test each other belief." Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the ayah answering them. قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. Allah started the answer and the response to their request with, "Oh, the disbelievers." Okay? Are you with me now?
Yeah.
I want you to continue and connect what I said from the beginning until we reach the conclusion at the end. Okay. Now the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, continue, Amin.
The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been commanded to tell this to the disbelievers plainly. The theme that follows makes it clear that every believer should tell the disbelievers plainly what has been said in the following verses. So much so that the person who has just believed and repented of kufr is also bound to express similarly his disgust with and disapproval of the creed and rites of worship and gods of kufr. Thus, though the first addressee of the word "Qul" say is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself, the command is not restricted to him alone, but it reaches every believer through him.
Okay, this is from TAFSEER Ibn Kathir. What he say here is that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam at the first minute, he said to the Prophet, "Qul," say to them, "O the Prophet, Ya ayyuha al-kafirun," the disbelievers.
Yeah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't say to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, talk to them, oh people of Quraysh, we are, friends and we living in the same community. No. Tell them you are disbeliever of my religion. Okay? I do not worship what you worship, and the rest of the ayat we will come to it later. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this same ayat, He commanded the companions radiallahu anhum, whoever revert to Islam and accept Islam, the first thing he has to do is to make bara'ah, distinguish, and feel disgust with anything that associate anything with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You cannot be a believer and in the same time you accept idols that are around the Kaaba. They cannot be together. So it was a command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the companions around him, to make sure that first when you become Muslim, first you have to express your disgust with anything that worshipped other than Allah, because you found the truth and the degree, the aqidah of this truth is to distinguish yourself and to disassociate yourself from anything from the shirk. Okay? Is it that clear? Okay. So this was the commands to the Prophet Muhammad. In our time today is similar to us, but we were born as a Muslim. We living in the Muslim country like Malaysia, for example. So you are not asked to go outside. Oh, disbelievers, I hate you. No, you don't hate people. But you yourself, like in your life, you will not join, for example, a celebration that associate, it's a ritual, okay? It's a ritual that people do to express their religion to another God. You will not take a place, okay? You will not take a place in this, and you will distinguish yourself. And this is the highest form of respect and tolerance to any other religion. Are you allowed to go and, for example, destroy the temple or destroy any... No, we are not. You cannot harm others in their ibadah. Like Umar ibn Khattab, when he went to Palestine, to just make sure that Muslims does not destroy the church was built inside Palestine and make sure they protected, he did not pray near the church. He went to the other place and he prayed. So they do not change that church to a masjid, just to protect them in their religion. What we are saying is that you have to protect your belief, and this is the most important principle and pillar of your deen. Like Rasulullah ﷺ did. When they invited him to pray with him, he said, no. لَكُمْ دِينُكُمْ وَلِيَ. You have your religion, go pray on your way, and I pray in my way. You go to your ibadah, and in the day of judgment you will face Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I go to my belief. So this is what's called in the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bara'ah, disassociation from kufr. Okay, continue, Sheikh.
The word kafir is no abuse, which might have been used for the addressees of this verse. But it implies that the one who refuses to believe or is an unbeliever, as against it, the word mu'min is used for the believer.
Okay. Now, today, the word kafir is a very sensitive word. If you say to someone, oh, he's kafir, he is believing in another. But if you say to him kafir, he will say, oh, you are ISIS, you are Daesh, you are going to bomb us all here. Okay. Like one Sheikh, he was saying that he was in the airplane, he's very famous, so the person recognized him. So he was in the first class, of course. Then the person next to him, he said to him, you preaching, right? He said, yes. He said, you Muslims want to put us all in hell. You say, oh, those disbelieve, they would be in hell. And he started to argue. I said to him, you don't believe in Islam, right? He said, I don't believe in Islam. Means you don't believe in the hellfire, so why you are worrying? Why you worry about us saying that you will be in hell? If you are a disbeliever, in our religion, means you will not believe that there is a hellfire, there is a judgment day. So that's fine, you should be okay, you should be fine. But the word actually, because deep in their fitrah, everyone is a believer. But then when they were born, Either they adopt any religion in their family or in their community, or they became kafir because of their inad, stubborn to accept the truth. So when you say kafir, it hits hard. It hits exactly the target. Okay? But actually, what does it mean, the word kafir? A disbelief. I am kafir to them. Am I Christian? No, I'm not Christian. So the Christian can call me kafir as a disbeliever in his religion. Or a Jewish can call me kafir because I am a disbeliever in his religion. So the word actually is no abuse. You are not a believer in Islam to me, you are a disbeliever in Islam. You are a disbeliever in believing in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the word is actually very simple in its use and in its term, but the way how the media use it and the way how they put it only used by a terrorist, then it becomes very sensitive word for ordinary people to use. You will always trying to stay away from the word kafir, because if you say kafir means what's wrong with him? He's going to now blow up this place or what? Okay, this is the typical mind. Okay, but it's very important for you to know this, because how it will come to you, these doubts, in form of what? In a form of discussion maybe with your classmates in your school, or in a form of somewhere you met someone who is not Muslim and then he start to, so you can with knowledge explain actually, are you a believer? Do you believe in Islam? Saying I'm not a believer, then the word kafir means a disbelief or a disbeliever, just it's in Arabic language. So if you are a believer, let's call you mu'min, because then you embrace Islam. If you are not, then you are kafir, and we are fine with that. Go on with your kufr, and we are not forcing you to accept Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created people different. Some they are Muslim, they are the kafir. Hisabuhum ala Allah, their judgment on Allah. Are you the one who take judgment? No. Like let's say if you see someone stealing, are you the one who's going to cut his hand? No, there is a law that do so, and there is a hakim, qadi, judge to do so. You are not the one who take the law by your hand. Same as the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who said believe and disbelieve? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah is the one who judge for it. But it's important to know what does mean disbelief. Continue, Sheikh. This is a very important slide. You have to write down some of the notes here. Continue.
Therefore, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, by Allah's command, all disbelievers, in fact means all you who have refused to believe in my apostleship and in the teachings brought by me. Likewise, when a believer uses this word, it will imply to those who do not believe in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Continue.
The second.
Yes.
The word used is all kafirs and not all mushriks.
Okay, did you notice this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't say Ya ayyuhal mushrikun. He said Ya ayyuhal kafirun. Continue.
Therefore, the addressees are not only the mushriks but all those people who do not acknowledge Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as Allah's messenger.
Aywa. These people who came to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one of them was Christian. One of them was a Christian. The Christian believe in Allah or not? Believe in God or not?
Yes.
They believe in God. But they did not believe in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a final and last messenger. So the word kafirun indicates every disbeliever in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He can be pagan, he can be Christian, he can be Jewish, or anyone reject the message of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is a disbeliever. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called him a disbeliever. Because Islam and the message of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the last and the final message. If anyone believes that there is another message other than the message of Islam that's still valid, he is not Muslim. He is kafir, a disbeliever, because he did not believe that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the last and the final messenger of Allah. anyone believes that there is messenger coming after the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ also disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and can be called a kafir. قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. These are matters of aqidah. If you study aqidah, like you study kitab in aqidah in a very intense way, you would be able, inshallah, to identify all these issues. But alhamdulillah, they get along with our surah, we can discuss them bi'idhnillah ta'ala. So in aqidah we have two things. What's the opposite of bara'ah?
Kafara.
No. Associate. This one, this associate, this is associate. What's associate in Arabic? Associate. I said this when we did I Am Muslim series. I explained this aqidah very well. Wala. Wala. What does mean wala? Means when I see any Muslim in the world, from Bangladesh to Mauritania, from Pakistan to Morocco, he is my brother in Islam. This is wala. I be his support. I devote myself to this ummah, to its individual and its entire. If people are suffering in Myanmar, Muslims, and I am living in Mauritania, in the end of the world there, in the end of the Islamic world, I have to feel like I am one of them. This is called wala. Means you enjoin and you associate anything for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one person painted bad picture about him or insult him, I feel insulted myself. I angry and do something that protect the honor of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is wala. Okay? Bara, this association. Any shirk, you stay away, you run away. You don't be close to shirk. Okay? Anything, associate anything with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you disassociate yourself from. Rituals, culture, whatever it is, you are not part of that. I'm very sorry. Why? It's my belief. I think I have to protect my belief. This is my first priority. And people mix tolerance and respect with belief. You still believer and you can be a tolerant and respectful. And even protect others as well of the same whom. Let's say like Malaysia have many religions, right? Have many people who believe in other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You still be nice to them, kind to them, work with them, everything. But everything with the boundaries of Islam. You invite me to rituals, I would say, sorry, I will not participate.
But we invite them to the masjid.
Invite them to, if they accept, they are welcome. This is a form of da'wah. But they cannot do da'wah to us. We reject that because we have to protect our belief because we know it's the truth. We know it's the haqq. We have no doubt about it. And do not allow anyone stimulate your heart to accept otherwise. There is no truth except that Allah is one. This is the truth. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala plainly asked the Prophet Muhammad to call them, oh disbelievers. Oh, you are kafir, okay, fine, but you have your religion and I have my religion. And now there is move in the Middle East because this is where everything works because there is a lot of money there. Oil. If they come to Malaysia, there is not enough funds here to do so. Or if they go to Pakistan, there is not enough funds. So where they go? Who is the country, Muslim country have a lot of money? UAE, Saudi, these countries that have a lot of money. They say if they bring Messi now to Saudi, there's rumors that he will be playing for Hilal. So they say what they have paid for Cristiano and Messi combined together is exactly like the jizya that during the concord of Spain and France they were paying to us. So already Messi and Cristiano take it back. Okay, this is just a joke. But what they did, they replaced the presence of God and religion with these idols. These Cristiano and Messi, great players, maybe have great character, but they are idols to stimulate you. Who on earth would open Saudi channel and to watch Saudi League? In your mind, in the world. Terrible players, terrible stadiums, right? No, I'm telling you fact. But because they bring the idol, everyone is worshipping. In Portugal, they pay Saudi for this match. They just broadcast Al-Nasr whenever they play. Because Christians play. They just want to see that jump and that. Yeah. They have to remove the deen from your heart. Instead of you open live in Mecca and watch Mecca wishing to go for Hajj and making dua, you open Al-Nasr. But they are in the same country. You are watching Al-Nasr. So you see the play is that they have to make sure that like now, there is a study in UK from 2009 to 2018, 55 point something % increase of identity who wants to shift from their identity from male to female to the opposite gender. Like female wants to become male and male wants to become female. So what happened to the study? Follow up with me, please. This is very important. Because they are, what's good about them that they do like fair studies. Means they would study very well the problem. So after they analyze the problem, they find two main problems. The first problem is that football in UK, many of us, especially like in Malaysia, you can insult his mother, but you cannot insult Manchester United. You can insult his mother, but do not talk about Man United or Liverpool. It's like their God. And some of them even ustads and mashayikh, but they are like, their heart beats when Man United win. Like just now, recently, they win against Barcelona, right? Facebook full of that post. What's this? Okay. So what happened? What I'm saying is that you are here in Malaysia, see the effect. Imagine inside UK, football is God.
Yes.
It's religion there. It's danger to watch Liverpool and Manchester United in the stadium. In the hot match, you might be killed. Okay? Out of violence. Okay. So they find there are two gods. First is the football. It's replaced so many things in their life, in their religion. The second one, I can't remember the second one. I was caught by the football. The second one, no, I can't remember the second one. But this is the first one, which is, I think, the best example here. What I'm saying is that we have this saying in usul, millatul kufri wahida. Millatu al-kufri wahida. The literal translation for this, the group of the disbelief is one, or is united. Means kufr collectively is one. But it comes in many forms to you. Maybe it comes in the form of Cristiano Ronaldo going to Saudi, you start to watch football there. It comes to you in the form of supporting this club against that club. So that actually, what happened, that make a crisis in their identity. Because some of them supporting football, it's like their life, it's like their religion. After many years, it affects even the identity of the people, the young people in UK. Okay, now back to our surah, Surah Al-Kafirun. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said the word kafir, not mushrik. Kafir is more general than mushrik. If say mushrik only, it will not includes everyone who does not acknowledge the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, Surah Al-Kafirun ends here, inshallah. Okay, the notes of Surah Al-Kafirun ends here, inshallah. What we learn from Surah Al-Kafirun, we learn that kufr and disbelief comes in many forms, and the most obvious form is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sunnatullah, in creating this earth that is mixed. You will never have only Islam on earth. This is not from Sunnatullah. You cannot revert all people to Islam, to oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's from Sunnatullah fi khalqi that people have different beliefs. But how you as a believer who found the truth to deal with other beliefs, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from this incident and this event, from the people who asked the Prophet Muhammad to take turns about believing and worshipping, is that to distinguish yourself from the rituals. From the rituals. From the rituals. Again, anything that present rituals is a kufr and shirk. If you place yourself with it, you are participating. Like Christmas. Participating in the Christmas, for example. Participating in the Christmas, the true Christian themselves, they don't participate in this festival. Not Muslims, I'm not going to talk about Muslims. The true Christian who believe in Allah is one, not on three, they do not participate in such festival. So when you find a Muslim who is greeting others Happy Christmas Day and I don't know, and participating in these rituals as he wants to present respect to others and show that he is tolerant, this is actually a crack in the aqidah. You can actually congratulate people about the new year, Happy New Year for you, it's a new year, but you cannot say Happy Christmas, okay? Even Happy New Year, it's very disliked because this is not the right calendar for us. The right calendar is the Hijri calendar. This is a fake calendar that been imposed on us. Okay, like Christmas associate someone other than Allah. They celebrate what's claimed to be the Christ birthday. But anything that presented as a ibadah to other people, we disassociate ourselves from that ibadah. Why? Because your deen, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it no compromise in the religion of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He called the disbelievers as a disbelievers. Okay. This is the true tolerance of Islam. You are accountable of your deed. You want to disbelieve in Allah, that's fine. But I will not. And what does it mean believe in Allah? If we say هذا مؤمن, this is a believer, what does it mean? What's the definition of a believer? Who submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone and does not associate anything other than Allah in his heart and in his actions. Like the statement of Shahada. What's the definition of the statement? La ilaha illallah. Can you translate it? There is no God worthy of worship except Allah. You know, when you say this word, you already sign an agreement with Allah that you will never have in your heart anyone deserve your ibadah, deserve your devote, except Him and Him alone. Okay, this is your belief. So when you see other beliefs, you make sure that you are not part of anything that support that belief. Even as we said, even a smile. I do not smile to you, I do not play with you during your rituals. But I respect that you are doing what you are doing, and in the Day of Judgment, each one of us would be accountable. Okay? Do I sell and buy from you? Yes, I do. Do I engage with you in trading? Even in marriage, a Muslim can marry a Christian, true Christian. This is in the fiqh. In some opinion of fiqh, you can even marry. It's not conditioned that there must be a Muslim, okay? Except for those who does not have religion. So the idea is that distinguishing your belief from other people's belief, it's a totally different topic from being nice and kind and just a good person to others. That's a different topic. Because your belief, it deals with the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you have to protect the rights of Allah. That you don't have anything in your action or in your heart other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not even a Cristiano Ronaldo. It's a form of shirk or a performance of ibadah that You love a character that you're following him wherever he go. Even he go to the depth of the sea, you would go and watch him in the depth of the sea. It's a scary thing. It's a very scary thing. Okay.